Welcome back, everybody, to another video VOD on demand. Today, I came across this video by a small YouTuber, actually, and it's a really interesting video, which I recommend everybody go watch entirely. It's from this channel Conduit, which has less than 3,000 subs. It was actually sent to me by the great Hutch, who's a fan of his, and he's like, you should check this out, it's really good. I'm glad to see it's actually getting some views here, 40,000, but this guy spent 1 week watching Hasan's stream, dedicated, right? He's like me. He feels the same way about Hasan as I do. So he's like, I want to see exactly what this guy is doing over there. So he spent a week, and there's lots of little interesting things in here. However, there's one thing in here that left everybody that's seen it, that I know, totally gobsmacked.
Sorry.
So I want to show you guys what a fraud this dude is.
This is the one thing about Judaism that I do not know. Like, I mean, I've learned deep lore on this broadcast about Sukkot, about the citrus, about the stick and the tent. It's just a holy wall. I don't know. Wait, what the fuck? You don't know either? How do you not know? You're Jewish. Why do Christians go there and like cry and stuff? I'm gonna be real. It's not much. It's the outside wall of the second temple. This is the Temple Mount, mega holy, great place to pray. It's just a wall, man. Calm down. Like,
There's a lot to unpack there. He says he's an expert on Judaism because he knows about Sukkot, which is a minor holiday, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not even one of the important holidays.
Sukkot is far from deep lore.
And then he says, but I don't know anything about the Western Wall, which is literally the beating heart of Jerusalem and this entire conflict. How the fuck do you not know anything about that? And he calls himself an expert on Middle Eastern politics. He spends all day talking about Israel. He doesn't know that it's the Western Wall. It's the holiest place for Jews. That's why everybody's fighting over Jerusalem. It's not because the scenery is great. So the Western Wall is the center of the old city in Jerusalem. The old city, which is the historic part of the city that has all these landmarks, is cut into 4 different sections. You have the Christian section, the Jewish section, the Muslim section, and the Armenian section. In the Jewish section, there is what's known as the Western Wall in English. And this is one of the remaining walls of the Great Holy Temple that was said, this wall was built 2,000 years ago. And it's said it's the closest wall to an inner sanctum in the temple where God himself dwelled. And so it's the holiest place in the Jewish religion, right here, this wall. People travel all around the world to come here. So right above the Western Wall is the Temple Mount. And this is the 3rd holiest place for Muslims. And this is where Muhammad was said to ascend to heaven. And then right next to all this is the Christian quarters where the Holy Sepulchre is. And this is the holiest place in the Christian religion where Jesus is said to have both been crucified and resurrected from. So here, all around the Western Wall here, in this ancient city in the middle of Jerusalem, is the most important place for Jews and Christians, and one of the most important places for Muslims. The Western Wall and all this happening in Jerusalem right here is the main reason that the Palestinians and the Israelis are fighting over the territory. Obviously, the conflict is super complicated, but like at the heart of it rests this exact location.
why do Christians go there and like cry and stuff?
He's so ignorant about it, he doesn't even realize how embarrassing it is to say this. That's how little he knows. If he knew even just a little bit more, but not enough, he would know that this would be an insane thing to admit on video. Christians go there because this temple is where Jesus taught. Jesus is said to have taught and existed within the walls of this temple, right? This is one of the holiest places for everybody. Everybody's like, this spot is fucking sick. All three of the major religions dabbed up on that. But then they started shoving each other. We're still trying to work it out. You know what Hasan is? He's a fake anti-Semite. At least people like Nick Fuentes and these guys who really set their mind to it, they know the lore so that they can build all the conspiracies. And Hasan, you always talk about how you were raised Muslim, how you're culturally a Muslim. The Western Wall and this entire area is super important to Muslims too. And you don't know anything about that? Truth is, you talk about this issue day in, day out, and you don't know anything. You don't know anything about anything. Even without the context of like the modern conflict with Israel and Palestine, throughout history of these negotiations that have been trying to go on here, the sticking point in these negotiations is what to do with Jerusalem between the Muslims and the Jews. how to split it up, who gets what, because these are the holy sites. Why should anybody listen to you on this topic? You don't know anything about it. He doesn't even try to learn. He doesn't even try to learn. He goes, I don't know anything about it. Well, there's a good chance to educate yourself and your audience.
This is the one thing about Judaism that I do not know. Like, why do Christians go there and like cry and stuff? I'm gonna be real. It's not much. It's the outside wall of the second temple. This is the Temple Mount, mega holy, great place to pray.
I mean, they're being disrespectful too.
Yeah, I find it disrespectful.
Imagine I was talking about like the Al-Aqsa Mosque or the Temple Dome, which is one of the holiest places. I'm like, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just a dome. It's just a mosque. It's just a dome. I feel like that would be offensive to people. But no, not for him. He gets to be disrespectful. He gets to be proudly ignorant while telling people he's an expert. This is just pathetic.
It's just the wall, man. Calm down.
He would never tolerate that level of disrespect towards Islam. In fact, it would just be a scandal. I mean, if I did that, if I spoke that disrespectfully about an Islamic landmark, it would be a scandal for weeks, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. But that just proves the anti-Semitism that permeates you and your community, that you could look at the holiest place in Judaism, proudly state your ignorance, but also stating you're an expert, and then to say it's just a wall, calm down, man. It's the holiest place in Judaism. It's just kind of speaks for itself, bud.
And for as a kid growing up in Israel, you go there at least once a year. Even from school, they take you there. Everybody writes their note. As a little kid, I remember thinking, what's my wishes? And then you fold it, you put it in the wall, and it's part of the culture. And you just say, it's just a wall, whatever. You just can't talk like that about other people.
If it was just a wall, there'd be no problem.
And I'm not even a religious Orthodox person, and it still means a lot to me.
I am completely secular, and I've been there a couple times, and it's a special place. I mean, it's a holy place. Anyone can feel it. It's like a spiritual place. It's a place for prayer. It's a place for reflection. It's a place for...
And even just historically.
The history of it all is what makes this whole area also feel so, like, divine, or just inspired. It's just so big. It's so much bigger than us, right? But Hasan, he doesn't care, and he doesn't care to learn. What a fucking loser.
Politicians are doing the classic, like, we're going to Israel to show how fucking... to show how much we love Israel routine. That's it.
Okay.
And then in his ignorance, he says, actually, Christians only go here to virtue signal about how they support Israel, which is completely not true. It's a holy place for them, too. But way to spin your ignorance into some anti-Israel propaganda, you fucking creep. You can say what you want about Sarah Huckabee coming here and crying, right? However, you have to know something to properly analyze this. This is an important site for Christians as well. Lots of Christians go there and cry for religious reasons, not having to do with virtue signaling their support for Israel. Jesus was said to have taught inside that temple wall. The Old Testament is part of their mythology and Islam's mythology. It's all connected, man. It's all connected, brother. You know, this reminds me of this classic clip of Hasan, the Middle Eastern expert, big fit, 10 toes down for the Houthis, right? Scholar, boots on the ground. He's doing what modern journalism won't do. Let's test his knowledge in another way, right? Let's see how Hasan does on Middle Eastern geography here. He's looking for Yemen.
Which dude? Close the cookies? Oh yeah, true. Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm gonna click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. Nope.
Iran,
nope.
Iraq,
nope.
Jordan,
nope.
Syria, Israel.
Nope.
He clicked Israel.
He clicked Israel.
Nope.
He thinks Yemen is Israel. Okay, this is an old clip, but that does not excuse this level of ignorance. You know, he says he's been an expert on this topic, passionate about this topic for like 10 plus years. I don't think this clip is that old. And by the way, he's had lots of time since then to learn, and he still doesn't know what the fucking Western Wall is. One more time, it's too much fun.
True. Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm gonna click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. Nope.
Saudi Arabia.
Nope.
Oman.
Got it. One of these.
Got it. Dude, you literally clicked everywhere. Your ignorance is actually impressive that like you should have guessed it just by pure chance sooner. Like that takes a special type of inverse talent to be that ignorant, right? And to hold on to that ignorance, hold on to it like it's holding space for the empty space in his brain for all this time, and then to go on stream and be like, by this guy who caught it just by chance because he was like dedicated to watching it for a week. God knows what kind of dumb shit he says on a regular basis. Yeah, guys, I don't know anything about the literal heart of this entire conflict, but I'm an expert on Judaism because of the sticks and the fucking citrus. Well, there it is. Guys, this is the Jewish scholar Hasan Piker, hoping that somebody can please fill him in with this very obscure knowledge. Does Hasan think that this is like some niche underground knowledge? Like he needs to go to Israel, to the archives, and unfurl the Dead Sea Scrolls and unlock the mysteries there. Nobody knows. The knowledges are kept only by the old and the wise. Nobody knows about the Western Wall. It's a total mystery.
The scrolls are actually in LA till September 2nd. They're at the Reagan Library.
Why do you know that?
Oh, the scrolls are in LA till when?
September 2nd.
Can we reach out to Hasan so we can learn about the Western
Still got
Wall?
time.
Let's get him a viewing of the scrolls. We'll get him in there with the foremost authority on ancient Hebrew, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna teach him. We're gonna figure this out. So Hasan, I hope you take this as an invitation to learn about the entire center of this whole conflict and religion. And hey, you can learn something, right? How fun is that? See you next time.